Hello, everybody. I'm Megan Graham, and today I just wanted to come on to talk a little bit about what happened when I stopped wearing the X39 patches. And if you haven't seen the X39 patches, here they are. So people ask me all the time. I've been wearing these patches for a long time, I think for about 2.5 years. And all the time in my YouTube comments, people ask me, what happens when you stop wearing the X39 patches? And first of all, I'm just going to preface it with this is not medical advice, and what happens to me may not be what happens to you. However, I just wanted to tell you my personal experience and what happened to me when I stopped wearing the X39 patches. I've never been able to answer this question because, of course, I've always planned on wearing them all the time. But I will just give you a little story about why I stopped wearing the patches. So this is the X39 patch, and actually these are empty. They're actually filled with a different X30 or LifeWave patches. So it says LifeWave. I've always planned on wearing these all the time. I really love the X39 patches. I've been wearing them for 2.5 years, but about a month ago, our dog passed away, our dog Lola, my dog that I've had for 13 years. And we got hit with so many different things at the very same time. So I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but our dog Lola passed away. And then our other dog, Alfie, got very, very sick. And another puppy wound up becoming available at the same time. So I had to figure out a lot of things financially, and I decided to stop wearing the patches, not forever, but to stop buying the patches because I had to save a lot of money for everything that happened at the very same time. It's just how life is sometimes, honestly. And so I thought, well, I don't think that much will happen all at once. I really didn't expect, honestly, to see many, come on, Elfie, it's okay. I didn't expect to see many changes simply because I have been wearing them for so long. And overall, I figured I could probably stop wearing them for a few months and not really notice much of a change. Well, it was a little bit of a surprise for me. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks passed, and it wasn't instant that I noticed any differences from not wearing the patches. But let me just back up for a second. Before I wore the patches for this little guy he has valley fever and pneumonia, and the poor little guy, he came to my lap to cough while I do YouTube. So I'm going to put you down just for right now, my little honey bunny. There you go. So before I started wearing the patches for 20 years, I could not sleep. I took various things to fall asleep, and I actually took things that aren't good for you, Benadryl, Tylenol PM. Without taking those things and without taking a lot of it, I could not sleep. And even when I took that, sometimes I still couldn't sleep. So 2.5 years ago, I started wearing the X39 patches, and I started gradually being able to sleep again. That's what I noticed. I'm not guaranteeing that this will happen to you if you wear the patches, but personally, it's what happened to me. So I got pretty comfortable with that. I've been sleeping really well for the past 2.5 years, and I stopped wearing the X39 patches. And within 2 to 3 weeks, I started having completely sleepless nights again, which I have not had in the entire 2.5 years that I've been wearing the patches. So that was a pretty fascinating thing that it happened. And please feel free to jump into the comments and let me know. I don't know if any of you have worn the patches for a long time and then stopped wearing them, but I was actually very shocked by this because, and I again can't say it's related, but I don't know what else it would be related to. So sleepless nights are terrible. I don't mean having a hard time falling asleep. I mean, I tried to go to sleep and I probably finally fell asleep. If I went to bed at 11, I probably finally fell asleep from 5 until 7 and woke up. That's pretty sleepless, and I was exhausted. This happened to me many different times. I also noticed that before I was using the patches, I was having a lot of skin problems, and my skin got so much nicer. If you've looked at my original video about the patches, I think it's called My Experience with LifeWave Patches. My skin made some huge changes, and I mean huge changes when I started using the patches. Again, can I say that will happen to your skin? No, I'm not making any claims. My skin personally cleared up and looked so much better once I started wearing the patches. Interesting thing that happened. many of the skin issues that I had before I started using the patches came back over the last few weeks when I stopped wearing the patches. And I just want to also say I never intended to stop wearing the patches forever. I still love my LifeWave patches. I still think they're great. Just if you're just joining me now, it's because I had a lot of things happen financially at the same time, and I had to save for a new puppy after my other dog died, and I just had to cut back every single thing that I could cut back. And so I figured, it probably won't make that much of a difference if I stop for 2 months or something, just while I'm being really frugal. And it did make a really big difference. So my skin issues came back. You can't totally see it, but I started breaking out and having rosacea issues again, which I had before. I obviously covered it up with makeup, so you can't see the bumps on my forehead. But normally when I'm wearing the patches, hello, buddy, I know you're hungry, aren't you? Normally when I'm wearing the patches, I don't need to wear makeup. My skin looks nice when I wake up. Of course, I think almost everybody looks better when they put makeup on. I know for sure I do, but my skin is not as nice as when I was wearing the patches, including the fact that my fine lines and, yes, wrinkles are more noticeable. So those were two things that I noticed. And the last thing that I also noticed is I simply have had less energy than I usually do. And I think I've really started to take that for granted because I have been wearing the LifeWave patches consistently for 2.5 years. And I just took that for granted. And I figured if there is a change, it's probably going to be long and drawn out. And then I'll go back to wearing the patches and I may not even notice. I did notice. And again, I can't say it's the patches. I can't say the same thing would happen to you, but this is just my personal experience that I'm talking about. So I did notice quite a few changes. And what I actually decided is that even though I was trying so hard to save money because I had so many expenses with Alfie being very sick, with a new puppy coming, it just wasn't worth it to me. So those are the things that I noticed. And I always like to tell you guys the interesting things that happened to me, because I think that personally, I don't love to hear big, sales pages or this does this. I just like to know what happens with other people, what they notice. And what I will say if you don't know this, I am a LifeWave brand partner. I've worked with the company. I don't work for LifeWave. I work for myself, and I help people that are my customers start LifeWave. I answer their personal questions. It's something that I really enjoy doing. People are always free to reach out to me when they have signed up with me. Obviously, if you signed up with someone else, then you already have a person that could do the same thing for you. They might do that too. So always reach out to that person if you signed up with someone. But for people that sign up with me, so by the way, if you have not signed up for patches and you're not with another brand partner and you're just thinking about getting them, I would love to walk you through the process. My email is down below. I also have a quiz down below for new people that have not purchased the patches yet. If they would like to fill it out, I can definitely get back to you and recommend what I think would work for you. So this is just my personal experience. It's not medical advice, but I did wind up folding and ordering the patches because I decided that for me, there is no amount of money that is worth saving to have some of the issues that I had prior to using the patches. And again, I'm not saying it's like I have to really qualify this because I'm sure I'll get a letter from compliance saying that I can't share my personal story. That often happens, but that is just what happened to me. It's not worth it to me to stop wearing them if I can't sleep, if my skin doesn't look as clear as it used to, and if I don't have my same amount of energy. And coincidentally, I am getting ready in the next few days. I'm going to fly back home where I'm from. I'm from the East, from the Northeast, and stay with my mom for a few days. And then after I stay with my mom for a few days, I'm going to pick up my new puppy, and it's going to be a busy travel schedule. It's not flying into the small regional airport where I live. You don't get favorable times. And I truly just needed every single bit of energy to get there. So it's not worth it to be without my patches because I'm going to fly out on a red eye. There were just two terrible choices for flights. Be with my mom for a few days. And then in one day, we're going to leave early in the morning, go pick up the puppy, visit with the person that I've gotten all my puppies from, my mom is going to drive me to the airport, and then I'm going to fly 8 hours home to be with my husband. So it's really going to be a super long day. And I just decided there's no amount of money that's worth it for me to save to try to go one more month without my patches. So I did order my patches. They should be here any day, and that is my experience. If you have any questions, please feel free to jump into the comments. By the way, I have been trying to get on here to make this video for a few days, but we have just had so much going on in my house where I've had to move it a few times. And to be honest, I don't always, I try to make it live, but most of my views come in the replay. And honestly, people haven't been asking a lot of questions. So I feel like if I'm not live, it doesn't really make a difference because people can just watch it after. You guys are always welcome to ask me any questions when I'm live, but most of the time I figure people aren't really in the chat and asking questions. So I just do it for the replays for the most part, just to share some good information with you guys. This is, by the way, where I provide my free information. I know a lot of people want to learn about LifeWave, and so I come on here and just share some of my experiences from not from a salesy point of view, but just from a real person. Like, my cat's on his wheel back there, by the way. It's 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock is the exact time that he feels that he should be fed. So about 3:45, he gets super upset if it looks like I might not be feeding him at exactly 4, even though his feeding time is usually like 4 to 5 o'clock. So he's having a little bit of a kitty meltdown. But anyway, so I was trying to get on, and I've actually been rebuilding. My husband is a roofing contractor. So for the past week, I have been rebuilding his entire website, improving the SEO, improving how it does on the internet, just fixing some things and filling out things that needed to be done. So I've been really busy with that. We've also had Alfie, our dog that has valley fever and pneumonia, just keeps having to go back to the vet. He's on his 3rd round of antibiotics. And valley fever is really tough. I don't know if anybody's ever had a dog with valley fever, but that has definitely given us some emergencies. So, and on top of it, I got a really bad sunburn. I haven't had a sunburn in 20 years. And I was out with my beautiful stepdaughter enjoying the pool, and I just lost track of time. That never happens to me, but I was just enjoying seeing her after she spent a week, I think she was away. Hadn't seen her for about a month, and she was away in California. So we were just enjoying having this great visit, and I didn't notice that I was out for way too long, and I got a sunburn, which is so embarrassing and obviously not good for you. And I just kept not being able to show up on YouTube because it stays for so long, and really there's no way I'm showing up on YouTube with a sunburn. So I just kept having to reschedule, but I just always show up when I can. And if you need me personally, and if you're a client of mine, always please feel free to reach out via email, and I will get back to you. Even if you don't see me on YouTube, you don't have to get, oh, he's telling me, are you hungry? You're hungry? Why are you hungry? Yeah, you're hungry? Yep, he's hungry. Hi, handsome guy. So anyway, if you have any questions and you're my client, feel free to email me. Feel free to comment in here after if this isn't live as well. I always really love to hear from you guys. So please don't hesitate to chat in the chat, because it definitely, I have to say, when I hear from you guys, it makes it a lot more fun, and I want to show up more. So if you have any stories, I would love to hear, what have you noticed from wearing the patches? Have you ever stopped wearing them? And did you notice a difference when you stopped wearing them? And if you are wearing them now, what did you notice from before you were wearing them to after you were wearing them? I always like to hear the differences. When I started wearing the patches, my sleep improved, my energy improved, my anxiety improved. Gosh, so many different things. Like, I started being able to go to the gym again. And it wasn't like this huge thing, like I took a pill and everything was different, but I just noticed the benefits layering in over the months, and it made such a big difference to me. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Feel free to pop in soon and let me know how it's going. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.